Welcome to the second class, I believe, of Ascension 101. It is developing your inner sensitivity. I'm Luminessa Enjara, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. I'd like to focus today on understanding meditation and also on understanding the states of consciousness that go along with us being able to meditate and how to access those states of consciousness. So first, I would like to share that meditation's become very popular in our culture, and there are many good reasons why. Because when we learn to meditate, and there are different ways that we can meditate, we are learning how to access altered states of consciousness that we always have access to. But when we live in a world that is very, very inundated with information, as ours is, where maybe you have so much on your to-do list, it's really even hard to get to any of it and complete that to-do list in any given day. If you're like me, you have many projects, you have things that you do, you go to work, you may have a family to take care of, and often it's hard to balance all of that. And sometimes we forget to include time in our life where we're just being able to rest, relax, and to let go of the outer world. I find that when we learn to meditate without an activity involved with that, when we're sitting in a meditation, in other words, when we're in a resting state, we really give ourselves a chance to connect with what I would like to say is that inner divinity within, the still being that lives within us. And it's not actually a beingness, it's really a state of being. So it's not a person, place, or thing. It's a state of being that we have that lives within us. And this state of consciousness we access through moving into deeper states of inner awareness. The first state, for instance, we're in beta wave when I'm talking to you now. Our minds are very active. We have high states of beta and lower states of beta. And then when we let go of that, we move into what we would call our alpha wave. And alpha is where our brain begins to slow down. And oftentimes when we're in alpha, it's like just before we're falling asleep or just before we wake up. We're kind of in a very, I don't know, gentle state of being. And when we are in that state, it's sometimes a good time to program your subconscious mind. There are many meditations which just keep you in alpha state where you can visualize and do different kinds of imagery, or when you start to feel a certain way. But the most important is moving into deeper states of consciousness, is to go beyond that alpha state into what we call theta. Theta is when we fall asleep. Now, we can do theta and access theta when we're conscious as well. We don't just have to fall asleep in order to access theta. We also can go into gamma or delta and then gamma. Delta would be when we're dreaming, and gamma is when we're in such a deep state that pretty much most of us don't even know when we're in that state. I know it for myself. I don't think I've ever accessed gamma with my eyes opened. Now, there is someone who has been a pioneer in the field of brain research over the last maybe 15 years, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I have studied much of his work and done many of his meditations. And what I like about what he does is that he really helps us to see how important it is if we really wish to change our outer personalities, if we really wish to even help to learn to heal our own physiology, we can do all of this through accessing different states of our brain and consciousness. And we can do this through learning how to meditate. We can train ourselves on how to be calmer, how to be responding to an event rather than reactionary. We can learn how to work with the field of the unified field, which is the field of all possibility, and all probabilities come from the field. Sometimes we call the field the unified field. Sometimes we call it divine intelligence. Sometimes we call it divine mother, because the feminine principle of life is the principle of creation, and she is the void. And the void is the deep blackness of all that is, where infinite creativity, infinite possibility exists. So within that, we are moving. When we're into meditation, we want to access that part of ourselves, which is that too. So when we look at ourselves, we say, well, I'm a physical body. Well, that is one aspect of who you are. You live in the physical realm. We have a physical body. But then when we move into meditation, we're also learning how to let go of the outer world, the environment, how to relax into beyond the physical body. And then we move into what we would call our feeling body or the emotional body. We're learning to let go of those emotional feelings in the moment. It doesn't mean that it will always be that way. It means like in that moment when you're meditating, we're letting go of whatever emotions or feelings you had before you sat down. And then we're going to move into a state where we access more of our subconscious and unconscious mind, our etheric body, our energy bodies. And we're going to move more even beyond that as we move into theta. And we're going to go deeper into connecting with what we would call the infinite place or the infinite stillness within. And when we learn to train ourselves to move into these states, whether we have our eyes opened or eyes closed, we benefit from those states enormously. We can reprogram our subconscious mind. We can often heal our own bodies when we access, when we reprogram, there are different ways in which we can do manifestation creation. Once we reach the state where we feel empty, aware spaciousness, in other words, you're going to feel a sense of like you don't have a body. You're not an individual anymore. You've merged more with the unified field. You feel an empty, spacious awareness. You know where you are, you know all of that, but you're not focusing on a separate identity. And this is key because, you know, becoming aware of your true identity, which is your vast, unlimited potential to be a divine human being, is what we're here to do at this time. Right now, it's about all people waking up to a true identity of their true nature. So we have lived, as I mentioned in previous videos, in a world for many, many thousands of years, and especially in the past 100 years at least, where we certainly didn't feel that we were more than just our physical body. We've had many different teachers, and definitely there have been many people, saints and masters who have been teaching us aspects of Eastern philosophy, which have taught us that we are more than just a physical body. But even so, in the West, even with those teachings, and even with, I would say, hundreds of thousands, if maybe not millions of people who are aware of these techniques, there's still a vast majority of people who do not yet understand the principle behind the I am presence or your higher self, not quite understanding what that is and where that comes from. So through meditation, that is our open doorway to accessing the higher states of consciousness or our superconscious self. I like to also say of our I am presence, our Christ teachers, our guides, our teachers. And there, again, these aspects of self or aspects of us in a different multidimensional form, so to speak. So it's an energetic form, not a physical form, at least not in this moment at time. Our meditation gives us the ability to still our mind, to just be quiet, to relax. And I would like to say from my own personal experience that it is so important for us to be quiet inside, to learn how to access the vast, empty, spacious awareness that is us, which is also around us as the unified field, as the isness, the divine intelligence that is everywhere at all times, that you and I are also made of and a part of. There is no separation between that which is external and that which is internal. So when we say those sayings such as what is above is below, we're also saying that what is externally out here in the environment is also inside of me. And in this short video, we're going to right now just again explore how to meditate in a very simple 5-step technique that will help you to access a deeper state of stillness, even if it's for just 15 minutes. And I suggest that learning how to do a sitting meditation is a very valuable and beneficial state that even if you find it difficult in the beginning, I truly just want to say, keep practicing until you can sit for 15 minutes at least where you are in a state of still, quiet relaxation. And it's just practice that really is all that it is. And when we learn how to do this in this particular form, it will then eventually become something you can do even in an open-eyed state. You'll begin to sense and feel that stillness of being when you're talking with someone. You cultivate what's an energetic aura as we lose or let go of more of the external identity, this physical, I am Luminessa. When I let go of Luminessa, I let go of what we like to say is our history, or in my case, my herstory. I let go of maybe the story of my life. And for me, I'm at a state in my life where I have learned to do that. And I have done that much more successfully than I have in the past, where I'm no longer always referencing from my past, but living more in the here and now. And when I am more in the here and now, and when I've cultivated more of that inner stillness, I'm able to be with you and feel more calm and relaxed. I'm able to be with others and be more calm and relaxed. I'm not reactive, I'm responsive. And you may have heard of many other beautiful and wonderful teachers like Eckhart Tolle, who teaches the same principles in his own way. And I highly recommend any of these other teachers to support your own ability to let go of what they might call your pain body or your external self or the egoic nature, which really isn't who we are. The egoic identity is something that we create, that's something that comes from our environment, often our family, our parents. And of course, we're born with a consciousness that says we're separate from others. Well, I will correct myself. We're not born with that consciousness, but in a culture, in our Western society, that is almost completely or partially developed by H2, me, other. But now we're in a new state in the world where we're not anymore saying there's you and then there's me. We're saying there's an us, and underneath our superficial self, underneath what we look like, our skin color, even our cultural differences, we're all of one unity consciousness, which is that we're the same in that. We're the same in that consciousness. Now, I know this may not make total sense to some of you, but just hang in there with me as we go into just a guidance into this gentle meditative state. So as we access this again, we're going to come from the environment. So we're going to lead you into taking some deeper breaths. So we're going to use the breath as a guide. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, and we're going to exhale through the mouth. We're going to let go of our environment. In other words, wherever you are right now, whatever you're doing, if you're going to practice this, you're going to have to just let it all go. Put your computer down or whatever you're doing, just lay it down. Put your feet on the floor if you can. And this is not a sleeping meditation. You can sit cross-legged if you prefer, or sit just with your feet on the floor. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, we're going to breathe in a sense of relaxation. And breathe it out, any external stress. And as we do that, we're going to let go of the environment. So if you're in your room, let go of the external noises. We're going to allow ourselves to just feel that any sounds or noises that you hear are only going to take you deeper in your meditation. That's the instruction that you give yourself. Then we're going to take another deep breath in and breathe out. And we're going to go and let go of our physical body. In other words, if you feel, I'm going to guide you if you feel any discomfort, if you have to scratch yourself, you have an itch, we're just going to do it and let it go. And you're going to let your body just be at rest, relaxed, right here, right now. Don't have to do anything. We just mentally will go over letting go of any pains or itching or or anything, this is the opportunity to really disconnect a little bit from the physical body. And then we're going to take another deep breath in, and then we exhale out. We're going to let go of our emotional body. So we're going to let go of any feelings or any thoughts, mostly your unconscious thoughts or your subconscious. If there was anything going on before you sat down, we're just letting all of that go. And we're going to take another deep breath in. Let go and go into our energy body and the etheric body. We let it all go. And then our last deep breath in, we're just going to allow ourselves to be in some still quiet for just a moment or two, just a minute or two. We're not going to stay too long, but it's just an opportunity to talk you through this so that you have an idea. And I am going to say within the description of this, I will actually see if I will give you an email that you can actually, if you want to get a copy of this 5-step meditation, I'll be happy to email it to you. Just send me your email address and say where you would, that you would like to get this meditation, and I'll be happy to give it to you. So let us begin now. And again, we're going into this meditation to learn how to be able to quiet our mind. And again, when I say that, it's just a practice. Our mind is always going to have thoughts. It's just what it does. But when I say quiet the mind, it's an effortless kind of quiet. It's when you focus on something else, your mind will naturally at some point quiet down. Like even when I meditate, and maybe I've had a very busy day or a busy week, or maybe I forgot to meditate and I go a day or two and I didn't meditate. I will notice in my own body that I'll feel agitated. I'll feel, what's the word? I feel, sometimes I get a little discombobulated, scattered. That's what I get when I don't meditate. But then the minute I force myself sometimes to sit still, what happens is after maybe 15 minutes, sometimes it takes 15 minutes for all the stuff to come up. And yeah, I'll think of all the things I have to do. I'll run through my to-do list. I might even remember something. But once that goes, then I'll get quiet. I'll feel myself drop in. I'll ask my higher self to connect with me. And I have certain things that I know when that happens, and you'll learn that too in these classes. But for right now, we're just going to give it a brief sample so you have an idea of what it's like and how to go through it. And then we'll end the class. So let's begin again by closing our eyes, if you would. And very relaxed and gently, we're going to take a deep breath into the nose, breathing in and breathing out through the mouth. Relaxing. As you exhale out, just relax, relax, relax. Let's take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, let go of the day and anything you were going to do. You're going to let it all go for these few moments. And let's take another deep breath in. And as we breathe in, relax any of the external environment. So if you hear any noises, just let them go. If there's sound and traffic, wherever you are, whatever noises you hear in the external environment, I just want you to know that those noises and sounds will not disturb you, that they'll in fact help you to go even deeper as we allow ourselves to be still in this moment. So we'll take another deep breath in, breathing in through the nose, and exhaling out through the mouth. Relaxing even more, we let go of our physical body. And I invite you to take a quick mental scan over any part of your body right now to see if there's any tension somewhere that you're holding. And if there is, just mentally send it a little love and relax it with your mental thoughts. I relax my physical body. If there's any need to stretch your leg, just stretch it really quickly and then put it back. If there's anything at all going on in your physical body, in this moment, we're going to let it go and relax the physical body. And then again, we're going to take another deep breath in, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we do, we go even deeper, relaxing our feeling body, relaxing our feelings and our emotions. We just let them go, whatever there are. We allow ourselves to feel even more relaxed. And knowing that at any point when we come back into your full physical state, you'll be able to take back your feelings and whatever else you choose to take back. You are in complete control at all times. So as we relax the emotional body, any feelings and thoughts, we just let them go for this time. And we take another deep breath in, breathing in and out. We let ourselves go even deeper into a deeper, deeper state of letting go of any unconscious aspects, known or unknown. We let go of the unconscious mind, allowing ourselves to go even deeper, more relaxed, more at ease. We're aware of our body, we're aware of everything, but we're not identifying with any of it. Allowing ourselves to move beyond this physical realm. We take another deep breath in and then let it go through our mouth. And we go even deeper into a still more relaxed and quiet state within our own being. And we'll take a moment here and just allow yourself to expand beyond into an empty, sort of spacious awareness. Beyond space, beyond time, we meet in this place of no thing, the empty, still void of creation. Allowing yourself to just be quiet for a moment. Drop deeper. And again, if any thoughts drift up, if any ideas or thoughts come up in your mind, I want you to just be aware of them. Just notice a thought and let it go. In other words, don't follow the thought with another thought. If a thought shows up, just be aware of that thought and file it away and let it go. It'll always still be there. It'll come back up later. So if any thoughts come up and they arise, don't be distracted with a thought. Just let go of that thought and hold yourself in a deeper state and stay there for another moment or two. And so just for the purposes of this meditation, going to keep it rather short. And as we move ourselves now, as if we were going to come back out into what we would call objective reality. And so know that right now you're in what we call a subjective state. And that is why when we're in a subjective state, we're able to reprogram and be able to do different things within our own conscious mind. This is a good place where we can often begin to learn different ways in which we can set up a new way of being. So in instance, while we're in a state of expanded awareness, in this void state, you can let go of what you're not longing to want, what you don't wish to create anymore, and start tuning into what you want to embody. We're not going to go into it very much now, but that is another thing that we can learn to do as we become more adept in just learning how to become meditative in a still place, in an empty, spacious place. So now as we come back up out of this meditation, I want you to take a deep breath in, a little quicker this time, breathing in and out. And we're going to bring ourselves back up out of the stillness, into the unconscious again. We acknowledge our conscious mind, breathing in and out. bringing ourselves back up into our feeling nature, our feelings and our emotional body. We welcome new thoughts, new emotions, states of joy. I resonate with a feeling of well-being as I come out of this meditation. Breathing in again and out, bringing yourselves back into our physical body. You might want to just stretch your legs, maybe touch your physical body, bring yourself back right here and right now. We're going to take another deep breath, and as we come back out of that, we're going to open our eyes on the count of 3 and be alert, objective, and aware. Breathing in and out. I'm opening my eyes. I am alert, objective, and aware. And that's the simple technique that I call the 5-step technique. And again, we go into our meditation, we're tuning ourselves to the environment and letting it go. Step 1, we breathe in, we breathe out, we let go of our physical body. Step 3, that would be step 2. Step 3 is we let go of our emotional body, and our unconscious mind can come either in that step or after. We're letting all of that energy go. And step 4, we're allowing ourselves to go even deeper and relaxing. Step 5, we're in the void. We let go of the personal identity. We just imagine and just feel yourself drift off. And while you're learning to do these things, remember that you give yourself the time to practice, and eventually your thoughts will no longer be there. The thoughts will have calmed down. But sometimes it takes some practice, in the beginning especially, to let our mind just do what it does. We just train ourselves not to follow into thinking about those thoughts. It's like a thought comes up, oh, I have to go and make a phone call to so-and-so. Instead of thinking about when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it, what you're going to do is just say, let it go. And focus right back on the breath if you have to. Focus on the breathing. That's why sometimes we do mindful meditation. It's all about focusing on the breath. So that's all I would like to share with you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you want to reach me, I will put my email in on the bottom in our description, and you can let me know and say, I would like to get a copy of that meditation, and I'll be happy to send it to you via email. Until we connect again, I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, afternoon, whatever it might be for you. Blessed be.